Scenes may not be suitable for very young audience. Parental guidance is recommended.
Babaeng Migrante, may kakampi ka.
Okay, isang magandang morning sa atin lahat mga kaibigan. Ito na naman po yung likod, Feni Codemus, para sa Babaeng Migrante, may kakampi ka. And of course, mga kaibigan, kahapon po, nag-launch ang Lilac Center ng isang Helper DB, isang apps na naman to, na kung saan ito'y ginanap sa Ambassador Sala Function Room, Hotel Gen, Manila. Yan. Dito po yan sa may Ross Boulevard, no? At ang nilaunch nila yung Media Launch of Helper DB at introduction of My Skilled Worker and Japan Employment Network Opportunity Seminar. Ito pinapakaganda para sa ating mga worker. Ang pinag-usapan doon mga kaibigan, mamaya maririnig din niyo sa pamamagitan po ng ating butihing presidente ng Lilac. Walang iba kung hindi si Nikon Pamironag. Tingnan natin anong mga paliwanag niya, bakit nagkaroon ng mga ganire, di ba? Pero yun nga sinasabi natin, ang programa ay nagsimula ito, mga kaibigan at kakampi ko, doon sa invocation, tapos national anthem natin, of course, ando yung mga Japanese. So nagkaroon din ng national anthem from Japan side naman. At napakarami puro na mga Hapones at saka yung mga gumawa nitong Helper DB na ito. Diyan. At syempre, tinignan din yung sitwasyon ng mga sa Japan. Kasi alam niyo naman, napakarami gusto ng Japan kuhanin sa Pilipinas, di ba? Pero ang usapan dito, napakahirap. So, mamaya makikita nyo rin kung ano ba ang problema, ano bang sitwasyon meron dyan sa Japan at papaano, di ba? Paano yung empowering domestic workers, employer, and agency sa Hong Kong. Ayan, mamaya maririnig din ninyo. Online po yun, nakausap nila na kasama kami doon, ipinaliwanag kung ano nga ba itong usapin na ito, di ba? At doon sa program na yon, bakit ba may nag-launch ng Helper DB? Kaya nga, sinasabi, empowering daw ng mga domestic workers, employers and agencies, yung Hong Kong base po ito. At dito nakikita rin yung mga experience in using Helper DB. Ano nga ba? Kasi sa atin medyo mahina nga, medyo palpak nga nung medyo konti. Dahil mahina yung ating rito yung ating internet. Kaya medyo naglalal yung iba. Pero with that, kasama rin natin dyan si Attorney Villamor Ventura Esplan, ang Deputy Administrator ng Philippine Overseas Employment Administration. Alam niyo po ba, mamaya makikita niyo lahat, pati sa question and answer, yung sinasabi nga po na napakahirap din ang mag-process, lalo na sa papuntang bound for Japan. Napakahirap pong magproseso ng mga worker. Napakahaba ng proseso. So mamaya malalaman nyo paano nga ba at mapapaiksi ba ito o hindi sa pamamagitan ng mga question and answer portion sa bandang huli. Ngayon, tingnan natin dito ipapakita natin ang sasabihin naman ng ating presidente mula sa Lilac Center for Public Interest. Nandyan po si Mr. Nikon Pamironag. Tingnan natin kung ano-ano mga sasabihin niya, ano yung background, bakit ba kailangan natin magpadala ng mga worker o manggagawa sa ibayong dagat.
I would like to present to you a person who everybody knows and for sure is on top of everything whenever we have any activity like this. I consider him one of the country's leading experts on labor relations, labor affairs. I now call on the Chief Executive Officer of Lilac Center, no less than former Undersecretary Nikon Pamironag.
Ah, magandang umaga. Good morning. I hope you are also happy and well today. And thank you for coming. I am very pleased to welcome you all to this triple event. Triple because we have 3 activities set for this morning. The first is the launching in the Philippines of the Helper DB online platform. The second is the introduction of another online app, My Skilled Worker. And the last but not the least, the Employment Network Opportunity Seminar on the Japan labor market. So you are very fortunate to be here this morning. But before I go further, I would like to, first of all, thank our guests from Japan, Hong Kong, and Cambodia for taking the time out of their busy schedules and flying to Manila for this event. I need to single out Mr. Tatsuya Aikawa. Can you please stand up? Eugene Aito. And Naoto Sugawara. My special thanks go to Mr. Peter Leung. Where's Mr. Peter? Mr. Peter, you're at the back. Okay. Mr. Peter Leung is with the Employee Easy Group Limited. And of course, Mr. Rokako Mitsutaka, okay, Mr. Rakusan, for helping the Lilac Center organize this event. Mr. Mitsutaka is the Japan Operations Manager of the International Easy Reach Company Limited. I would like to make a special mention of Mr. Louis Chokwan, the Chief Executive Officer, and Mr. Ching, the Chief Financial Officer, respectively, of Employee Easy Group Limited. Employee Easy Group Limited is an IT company based in Hong Kong. The two, unfortunately, could not join us today on account of the travel ban resulting from the outbreak of the new coronavirus, now known as COVID-19. But later in our program, Mr. Kwan will expound on his company's latest platform offerings, Helper DB, and My Skilled Worker. Because this event has been planned since December last year, before the outbreak of the disease, the Lilac Center for Public Interest has decided that with or without the coronavirus, the show must go on. So, we are here today. Let me also express my thanks to Mr. Julian Frederick Santiago. Julian, can you please stand up? He is the Operations Manager of Angeles Allied Agency for agreeing to join us today and speak about his experience. He will do a testimony of the efficacy and the wonders of the Helper DB platform. If you don't know, Angeles Allied Agency is #1 in the deployment of domestic workers to Hong Kong in the last 2 years, due, I believe, to its use of the Helper DB platform. My heartfelt appreciation also goes to Attorney Villamor Ventura's plan. DA plan is still not around. He is the Deputy Administrator of the Philippine Overseas Employment Administration. DA plan is going to deliver the keynote remarks this morning in lieu of Administrator Bernard Olaya, who initially agreed to join us today but has to beg off because of his full calendar. Of course, I reserve the last part of my gratitude, expression of gratitude, to all the participants who are here today, despite their work, and to the select group of friends from the media who are also here to listen, and hopefully write the news about the event. I'd like to make a special mention of Mrs. Elsa Yu Villa, former President of the Philippine Association of Service Exporters Incorporated, for joining us today. And of course, here gang. Can you please stand up in the table? Jovi. Where's Jovi? Yeah. And Ma'am Weng. Ma'am Weng is supposed to fly to Europe today, but he canceled her trip because he loves me very much. Having dispensed with these preliminaries, let me give you an overview of this event. Now, this is serious, so listen, people. As all of you may know, Hong Kong is second home to more than 184,000 Filipinos as of last count. And the last count was yesterday. Most of them domestic helpers or domestic workers. This is according to the Home Affairs Department of the Hong Kong SAR government, which cited its 2016 census of population. In fact, Filipino domestic workers in Hong Kong were the most numerous among the 8% of non-Chinese population. The Filipinos are followed by Indonesia, about 150,000. And in 2018, according to PUAD data, Philippine licensed recruitment agencies in the Philippines deployed to Hong Kong a total of 43,271 domestic workers. An increase higher than GDP growth rate of the Philippines. It's about 7.6% over the 2017 deployment of 40,205. I remember that Hong Kong, before the ban of Japan, of Filipino entertainers, we were sending this number also in 1 year. Well, the most common modality of deploying a domestic worker to Hong Kong is through a Philippine licensed recruitment agency. In the Philippines, they are called LRA, who partners with a registered and accredited Hong Kong Foreign Recruitment Agency. Hong Kong FRAs regularly looks for employers, actually households, who are in need of domestic workers. Once an FRA finds an employer, the recruitment process begins. The recruitment process applicable to Hong Kong as well as to other domestic worker receiving countries is governed by the rules and regulations of the PUEA. This process takes time because the rules are stringent and complex. Thus, a domestic worker who aspires to work in Hong Kong through the process could also face the prospect of waiting, if not delay, because of the time needed to comply with the rules. For example, once an FRA has registered itself at the Philippine Overseas Labor Office, it can only begin to look for domestic worker for its employer the moment its accreditation to an LRA is approved by the PUEA. This is also true for an LRA. It can only search and recruit applicants once the accreditation is approved. There are also other factors, considerations, such as but not limited to training, medical examination, delay in document approval, flight bookings, etc. All of these procedures are paper-based and, as I earlier stated, takes longer than necessary to accomplish. I would like to interrupt my beautiful speech by welcoming Deputy Administrator Plan. Join me here, sir, so that they can all see you. Thank you for coming, DA Plan. Ganyan magtrato ang Lilac Center ng mga bisita. Ini-interrupt ang speech ng presidente nila. Okay? Thank you, sir, for coming. Okay. Now, the use of modern technology to simplify and fast-track recruitment of foreign workers has arrived. Not today, not tomorrow, but many months, many years ago. There is a plethora of online platforms, job portals, websites, and applications that fast-track foreign worker search, hiring, and recruitment, but mostly on the search and find category. Unfortunately, there are only a few technology-based modalities that focus solely on domestic worker recruitment and on directly matching candidates and their qualifications with employers and their particular need. This gap has inspired a Hong Kong-based technology company, Employee Easy Group Limited, to come up with a solution. It has produced an online platform where employers, agencies, and workers can engage each other and produce the necessary result. A hired domestic worker who corresponds to and fits the specific need of an employer. The platform, it's called HelperDB, is 2 years in the making and is now widely used by Hong Kong employers and Hong Kong FRAs. It has been introduced quietly in the Philippines in 2019, last year, and today we are launching it in the market so that workers and LRAs can benefit from its positive and productive effects. The same process applies to Japan, home to some 271,000 Filipinos, and the data comes from the Ministry of Justice. This is statistics of the Ministry of Justice of Japan. There are now 271,000 Filipinos in Japan. Filipinos are the fourth largest group of migrants in Japan. This number is expected to increase following the signing of the Memorandum of Cooperation between the Ministry of Justice, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Health, Labor and Welfare, and the National Police Agency of Japan, and the Philippine Department of Labor and Employment, after Japan promulgated the law for partial amendment to the Immigration Control and Refugee Recognition Act and the Act for the Establishment of the Ministry of Justice Law Number 102, as well as the Memorandum of Cooperation on the Basic Partnership Framework for proper operation of the system pertaining to foreign human resources with the status of residence of a specially skilled worker. That's a mouthful. But in short, what this means is that Japan now allows the entry of Filipino workers to Japan under certain parameters. Yun lang po ang ibig sabihin ng isang damakmak na paragraph ng mga cooperation agreement. The reason is very obvious. Japan has an aging population and is experiencing a critical shortage of workers. This is, hindi ko ito drawing. And this is borne by data and facts and statistics. Japan's population, which was 127.3 million in 2012, about 8 years ago, is expected to go down further to 86.74 million in 2060. The Philippines is growing at about 2.2% per year. Japan's population is declining. And it's on the precipice decline. Very steep. Its productive population. That's how determined. Productive population. The equivalent of that in the Philippines is working population or economically active population. In Japan, they call it productive population. The ratio is 62.1% in 2012. Philippines, about 64%. Age 15 and above. This is expected to go down to 50% in 2060. While Japan's fertility rate, which is 1.41% in 2012, is expected to go down lower to 1.35%. Meaning to say, Japanese families are having fewer and fewer children. Unlike us, our average family size is 5, growing to 5.1%. Now, let's go to the aging rate. Yung pagtanda. Yung mga, ito, pinakamabilis ito sa mga maraming problema. Di ba, Tita Els? But the aging population rate of Japan, which was 25% in 2012, is going to accelerate further to 39.9%. So, who will mind the store? Who will drive the trains? Who will construct the buildings? This is the question that we all ask. And here's some more. In 2019, the number one reason companies in Japan went bankrupt is not about lack of technology or lack of sales or lack of clients, etc. Alam niyo kung ano? It's lack of workers. And Mr. Totsaya provided us this data, which is very updated. Thank you, Mr. Totsaya. There are more jobs in Japan than workers, because the job seeker ratio in March 2018 was 2.41%, meaning jobs were 2.41% higher than the number of job seekers. This is the reason why Japan is announcing a need of 345,150 available jobs for migrant workers across 15 industries, namely food service, manufacture of food and beverages, fishery and agriculture, accommodation, aviation, automotive repair and maintenance, shipbuilding and ship machinery, construction, electronics and information, industrial machinery, machine parts and tools, building cleaning management, and care workers. The Philippines, as a labor-sending country, faces the challenge of how to take advantage of this phenomenal opportunity of helping Japan alleviate its critical lack of workers. Critical lack of workers. The Lilac Center for Public Interest, which Professor Jerry, who is our corporate secretary, earlier introduced to you, held this event with a view of adding to the licensed recruitment sector's stock of knowledge, credible and relevant information about the labor market of Japan. We also aim to establish a network of Japanese employers. They are here. You can meet them later, who are eyeing the Philippines as a preferred source of skilled workers. There is also a need to be clarified about the Philippine government's implementation of its human resource development agreements with Japan. That's why we have invited the A plan. He will tell us more about it later. Because at the end of the day, the overseas recruitment sector, which you is a key stakeholder in labor migration, needs to know. At the center, our hope is that this event, our first on this matter and on this subject, because we are holding another round of conferences and bringing in another set of employers, our hope is that you will all profit from this event, because the opportunity loss is that you left your jobs in your offices just to see us today. And I hope we are clear about the overview of this event. Magandang umagang muli sa inyong lahat. Thank you very much. And mabuhay ang Pilipinas at ang Republika ng Hapon.
Now for our next speaker, may I call on to speak on the situation around the Japan labor market and the need for Filipino skilled workers, Mr. Yuji Naito, President of the Next Age Special Skill Agency and Union.
Hello, everyone. How are you today? I'm sorry that Naito-san, although he could speak Tagalog, but I'll be the translator for him to be in English. Please excuse us, okay? Thank you.
よろしくお願いします。今日は、このような特別な場所に、ご招待いただきありがとうございます。何か、お互いにいい関係になれる、いい情報交換できる話になればと思いますので、よろしくお願いします。
Well, thank you very much for inviting me for this fabulous event. I hope that this will be very productive for all of us, and this could be the first time for us to be stand up here. But I hope end of the day we'll be handing shake for next future good opportunities.
私は日本で、人材派遣の会社をやっております。日本では、外国人スタッフが、約200名、 日本人が300名の約500名で、運営しております。
To introduce a bit of my company, our company is mainly to dealing with the human resources, actually the people sent into the company, and then basically so far we have 200 foreigners and 300 the local people already sent it to the company.
では、最近では、実習生の、受け入れ等も、やっております。
Just recently, as you know, that Japanese law changed, we accepted the internship and also special skill people from foreign countries.
最近の、私が今日話をさせていただくのは、外国人ビジネスは、一人一人の関わる関係、仕事の内容で取り方、感じ方が違うので、私個人の意見と話として聞いていただければ助かります。
I would like to discuss, talk to you about what I feel about the opportunity for the foreign people to work in Japan. This is my personal opinion, so please bear with us for that. Thank you.
まず私が、この人材派遣の仕事をしている中で、外国人の方々たちと、一緒に仕事をさせていただく中の感想として、まず、日本に住んでいる外国人の方たちの働く場所はいっぱいあります。
Okay. First of all, since I already started working with the people from outside Japan, and what I feel right now is the people already living in Japan has good opportunities also for working in a company in Japan.
ただ、特定技能、実習生、外国から直接日本へ働きに来ますという人たちの働く場所がやっぱりまだまだ少ないです。
To be honest, that's actually still a very small open window for the people coming out from the foreign countries into Japan. Still, there's the very, very narrow window, so we need to open that up.
最近では、例えばベトナムの人たちがものすごく日本に、来日して、実習生として働いたり就職して働いている人たちが増えています。ただフィリピンの人たちがやっぱり働く人たちもちょっとは増えてきたんですけども、まだまだ、日本へっていう話は少ないかなというのが私の意見なんですけども。
What I feel right now is to be statistics matter. We have I think many Vietnamese already working in Japan, but still a very small number of the people from Philippines actually having the opportunity to work in Japan.
それはなぜだかわかりますか？
Do you know the reason for it?
これは私が、ベトナムで、留学生を送るセンターを私もやっております。で、その中で感じたことなのですが、日本へ向けた、教育、例えば、日本の文化、ビジネスマナー、ライフスタイルのマナーっていう教育がものすごく、ベトナムよりも正直比べて話では申し訳ないんですけども、やっぱりこう低いっていうのが私個人の意見です。
In fact, I own a company, actually training center in Vietnam, and as you may know, the training situation in Vietnam is very advanced, as opposed to the training situation that what I feel about is not as good as the one in Vietnam. That's what I feel about it. So.
これは私の、お願いでもあるんですけども、私もフィリピンの方たちと仕事させていただいて、もう15年以上になります。プロモーター、タレントさんですね、よく皆さんが知られている関係の会社で働いたりとか仕事をしていました。で、あとは人材ビジネスで、労働者として、皆さんと関わらせていただいて仕事をしています。
In fact, I've been dealing with some of the agents in Philippines for about 15 years, mainly for the promoting entertainment business, and but still I feel a bit of the difference between the countries.
日本へ向けた、教育というものをやっぱりものすごく強くこう上げてほしい、レベルを上げてほしいというのがまず一つのお願いです。
Okay, one desire that I have, like I said, is to level up the skill of the training for the Filipino people to come to work in Japan.
フィリピンの皆さんは英語が喋れる、というところでもう日本にこだわらなくてもいいっていう人たちも考えもあると思います。ただ日本は、先ほど話もありましたように労働者がまだまだ必要です。まだまだ働ける場所、働きたいと思って来れる場所いっぱいあります。
I think it's the one of the difficulties that Philippine people has is the language. Learning Japanese, like we know how to speak because we are born to speak Japanese, so easier for us. But for the people in Philippines, can speak English, as a more like a mother language. But the learning Japanese is kind of like a discipline. That's what I feel about it.
日本にとって、これは私の感想ですけども、フィリピンの人たちにしかできない仕事もあると思ってます。なのでもっともっと、日本のことを知ってもらいたい、日本のマナーを知ってもらいたい、教育を知ってもらいたいっていうのが今日のこの席での僕のお願いです。
Okay, I think there's so much of the opportunities for the Philippine workers to work in Japan, but to do that, my hope is to have more learning about Japanese cultures and manners and the people, so that you can have more chance to work in Japan.
なので、僕から一番のお願いはその教育、あとは一番今日本と、フィリピンでの労働者との私個人の問題なんですけども、例えばこうポロとか、ポロの関係ですね。日本の、例えばポロに申請を出しても、降りないとか降ろしてくれないとか許可をくれないとか、そういう小さいトラブルもいっぱいあるんですけども、なんとかそれはね日本とフィリピンの国同士の問題ですけど、なんとかならないかなと思っているんですよ。
Okay, my major concern is the system, meaning that accepting the people from Philippines, we have to go through many things. For instance, for like a polo applications and all those are very, very difficult. That's the Japanese employer felt about it. So if we could go smoother on this, then we can have more opportunity for the Filipino people to work in Japan.
そういうとこは、国に、言わなくちゃいけない話ですけども、我々みんながやっぱりこう日本と、フィリピンの労働者というところ、例えば事業をっていうところであれ、ビジネスで考えるんであれば、もっともっと手を挙げて声を上げてまとまっていかなければいけない、今日はそんな会なのかと思ってこういう話をさせていただきました。
Yeah, like I said, the breaking through the current regulations of, like I said, for the polo application and all that, we could probably handshake together to go through it and to make it easier for all of us to have more people in Japan from Philippines.
私も微力ながらこれから、皆さんとこれを機会に、いろいろ学ばさせていただいて、もっともっと円滑に、人の行き来ができる関係が築けるような、橋渡しになればと思いますので、改めてよろしくお願いします。
I'm not very strong about the Filipino people in Philippines, but I will do my best to work together with you to make the world better for Philippines and also Japan. And I really like to say thank you again for giving us opportunity for standing up here to give the speech to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. You may start, sir.
Magandang umaga.
Umaga.
First of all, it is our honor to be invited as a guest speaker of today's event. And please accept our apologies to meet all of you by using video conferencing. As we know, recently the coronavirus spread all around the world, and the flight between Manila and Hong Kong expanded. We wish the coronavirus will disappear soon, the flights will be resumed, and we can meet in person. Who are we? Our company is Employ Easy Limited. Our company started up at year 2000. Our team believed by using the information technology, we can improve the employment industry much more easier. That's why we call ourselves employees. Today, we'd like to introduce our new platform, which is targeted for the workers' employment from Philippines to Japan. We have been providing IT solution for employment industry over 20 years. It makes us very good understanding how the employment industry works. Nowadays, we have agents in Hong Kong, Philippines, Indonesia, Cambodia, Singapore, Taiwan, and all over Asia, which is using our service. After focus on Hong Kong market for 20 years, we also aiming at developing a great market size Hong Kong. Last year, Japan government issued a new labor policy, special skilled worker. This policy is very similar to Hong Kong domestic worker market. Therefore, we are sure that our service will match for this great potential market. Based on the Japan government statistic, 1/3 of the population will be aged over 65 in year 2025. And that's a forecast. The total number of overseas workers required by Japan in 2025 is 1.4 million. We also know that Philippines has a lot of workers working abroad. In year 2019, there are 2.3 million of Philippine workers working all over the world. However, until last year, there's only 180,000 Philippine workers working in Japan, which is more or less than the numbers of us as we expected. This number is more or less similar to what domestic helpers that work in Hong Kong. And that's the question, why the number of workers deployed from Philippines to Japan is much more or less than we expected. After we interviewed with a lot of Japan agents and studied their experience, we know the answer. Let's share one of the Japan agent story, and we will know. Once a Japan agent reported job orders, it takes us 3 months to find the agent supplied to Manila to match the job order. And that will take them another 3 months for the accreditation and document processing. And when it's done, they find the air ticket, they book the hotel, go to Manila, and then interview the worker. They select 20 workers out of the facility. After 6 months of training, only 15 pass the N4 language test. And you will see that's the reason why the number of deployment is far less than expected, because the processing is very complicated and time-consuming. After our team studied the market and take several months of research, we assume that by fulfilling these 5 criteria, we have the solutions of that. First, how can agents in Japan and Philippines develop are in much more now? It's very difficult for an agent to look for agent, which has worker to match with their job role. Second, can it be possible for the Japan agent to select worker first before they select the agent worker? Now, it usually takes them 6 months for the Japan agent to be able to select the first worker. And as a suggestion, we want the Philippine agent to work to be based on the job we have, rather than research by ourselves. And being a Philippine agent, even I have a lot of qualified workers, how can a market do if the best agent will never met before? And because the job offer is the business confidential, at the same time, we want to follow the largest audience to protect the worker personal data. We have to make sure the data exchange is under a high security environment. We have launched our Helper DB 2 years ago, which fulfill the 5 criteria we just mentioned, which for the Philippine agent to send the domestic helper to Hong Kong. Now, we have 400 agents in Hong Kong and 60 in Philippines using that service. And today, we'll introduce our brand new platform, My Skilled Worker, for the Japan market. Our idea is like this. Let's see the diagram. On the right-hand side, we have connected with a lot of agents from Philippines and other countries. They can upload their worker indicators, videos, photos to the My Skilled Worker platform. And as an agent in Japan, from the Left-hand side, you receive the job order from the employer. So that means once they got the job offer, they can match the offer with the worker they are available on hand instantly. And then the second method we propose like this. From the left-hand side, we see the employer, they receive the job offer. And then they will post the job offer to our My Skilled Worker platform. By doing that, the agent in Philippines and other countries can select some worker they will match the job offer and propose to them. So it will be much more easier for the Japan agent to select. And the idea is like this, just like using Grab calling car. Once you have the start point and destination, the driver will come to us rather than run around to look for a taxi. Even similar to be complicated. So let me see a live demonstration of that.
Yes, sir.
Sir, good morning. This is not a question. I would like to share the consent of the ladies earlier. Actually, the N4 was just introduced like 5 years ago. During my years, when I took it, the lowest level was N4 actually. And then majority of my Japanese counterpart really doesn't appreciate only accepting JLPT N4 because the feedback from Japan is that even pasado po tayo ng N4, majority of our N4 passer cannot communicate in Japanese. The root cause for this is that majority of the training center doesn't educate our students to speak. We only educate them just to pass the N4. Sad to say, some of the Japanese companies in Japan is thinking to even level up the level N4 to N3. Again, I will be echoing yung sinabi ni Sir Plan. It is up to us to hire credible teachers who can, so that we can dispatch quality workers as well.
Yes.
I think, please excuse me, no? A certificate coming from a training center is not enough. It should be JLPT, Certified Student. If not, kung gagawin po natin ito, baka maghigpit pang Japan, entry pa ang i-impose nila sa atin.
Actually, yung po ang nangyari during our negotiation. They keep on insisting the entry, and we've been telling them that mahihirapan ang mga Filipinos natin considering that we don't have any curriculum pagdating sa mga college level natin. Unlike in Vietnam, they are trying to compare us with Vietnam.
Okay mga kaibigan, yan po yung mga usapin natin pagdating sa mga apps na yan. Ano po? Kung nais natin, kung nais nating magtanong, mag-inquire, pwede naman kayong tumawag doon sa Lilac Center, di ba? So, tingnan nga natin. Ano ba yung mga number nila diyan sa Lilac? Meron diyan eh, di ba? So, hopefully makakatulong po sa atin yung Helper DB. Yan, may mga nagsabi naman na maganda raw to kasi may mga nakaupo ako na mga agencies doon. Talagang tinutulungan daw sila pagdating sa paggagawa nito. So, libre naman po ito doon sa mga nagnanais. Yan, may mga titingnan kasi ko. Doon sa mga nagnanais na mapadali yung inyong proseso. Pag-a-apply, doon sa mga agencies na naririto, abay magpaturo po kayo sa kanila, di ba? Yun yung maganda kasi. Tapos, maririnig din ninyo dyan, mamaya doon, sitwasyon, di ba, narinig nyo naman, bakit ba may ganito, ano yung mga naging problema, at sa question and answer portion, nakita rin natin na napakaganda naman ng mga sagot nila. Pero, akin na nga pala yung number dyan, kung nais pa rin ninyong mag-inquire, di ba, sabi nga natin, ay, pwede kayong, saan na dito yung number? Ito. Gusto ko makita rin ninyo yung mga numbers. Kung gusto nyo magtanong pa rin, pwede nyo tawagan. Pwede ba ilagay mo rin ito mamaya ha? For inquiries, call Rich Merida, Tricia May Kalinisan sa number 632-8247-0430 and 0916-282-924. Yan. Pwede nyong i-email sila sa Lilac Center, mga small letter yan, lilaccenter2016@gmail.com. Yan. Ilalagay po rin natin sa screen para mas lalo nyong malaman for inquiries. Yan. Ito po ang inyong lingkod, Feni Codemus, para sa ating babaeng migrante, may kakampi ka.
At muli, isang oras na naman ang lumipas. Lagi nating tatandaan ang lahat ng problema ang kinakaharap. May kasagutan dito lang sa ating programa, Babaeng Migrante, May Kakampi Ka. Programang totoo para sa masa. Serbisyong totoo para sa OFWs. Muli, ito ang Babaeng Migrante, May Kakampi Ka. Nagsasabing kapuso ka man, kapamilya, o kapatid, dito sa DWWS, May Kakampi Ka!
Inyong narinig ang isa na namang serbisyo totoo mula sa Babaeng Migrante, may kakampi ka. Maraming salamat po.